You for letting me tune in. Thank you for letting me tune in. This is Coronado Orte Harris, owner of the Global Market George Takeover of all 10-year, 15-year, 30-year corporate, private, and public. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something very interesting. And I told these guys a long time ago. You know, I rent an art gallery, ladies and gentlemen, and I paint a lot of pictures of Donald Trump, the Trump administration, and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you, there's a whole lot of buzz about it. Every day there's somebody complimenting it or saying, why do you got that racist on the wall or something like that? Or they'll say, I love Donald Trump, you know, and stuff like that. They'll say, why don't you have no Negroes on the wall? I like, man, I'm going to tell you something. The reason I don't have Negroes on the wall is because Negroes fight about stuff like that. Negroes want to do something to you about you just can't paint a Negro. It's more to it than that. You know, they're going to say something like Aunt Jemima was they mama's mama-in-law. And you owe them for that. You know, then they come in there with their rifles and stuff and they Mossbergs and I tell you, and they Panther suits on. I mean, it gets that serious with African American. Like, you just can't paint a picture of an African American. You can't tell an African American, a lady, you can't tell her she looks nice without her ex-boyfriend coming up there ready to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? And I try to explain it to them, but they just don't understand. But you know what I did, ladies and gentlemen? I compromised. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I started putting African American paintings on the wall, right? And guess what I told them before I put it up there, ladies and gentlemen? I said, as soon as I start putting African Americans on the wall, there's not going to be no buzz generated. Nobody's going to ask me who painted it. They're not going to say that looks nice. Why do you have an African American on the wall? I said, there's going to be nobody saying nothing at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I put Rihanna on the wall. I put that girl, what's that girl from the Cosby Show? I put that girl Toby. Is her name Toby? Rudy. I put Rudy on the wall. I put plenty of them on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, just like I said, ladies and gentlemen, for probably like 8 weeks in a row, nobody said nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Then I went back and got my Donald Trump paintings and put them up there and put some freshness up there. And I'm talking about every day, somebody had something to say, good, bad, or ugly about it. And just like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why it's like that, but it is. You just have to get ready for the Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen, because they ain't no joke, you know what I'm saying? And just like Rush Limbaugh said, man, he said Republicans not used to fighting for themselves, you know what I'm saying? They say it's been a long time since they had somebody like Donald Trump to get up there and fight back, you know what I'm saying? To defend themselves, you know what I'm saying? But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the forecast was going to be, it was going to take probably about 12 years before the Democrats get more power. But they didn't slip back in there in 2 years. That's a bad sign. It is because, man, Democrats into abortions. They love abortion. They love illegal immigrants. They love that kind of stuff. They like trafficking, money laundering, racketeering. Ooh, they into that kind of stuff. You have to be careful dealing with that party, ladies and gentlemen, because what they do, they just like a bird, a mother bird that has some chicklets, right? They go off and they fly and they tell the baby, don't never leave the nest. Y'all just stay here. Mama bring you something back. That's how they are, you know what I'm saying? But mama got a house out there in Rolling Hills, right? She got the babies living in Smiley Coat, you know what I'm saying? She gonna tell them, don't never leave Smiley Coat. I'm gonna always have some Zoom Zooms and Wham Wham for you, some chips and honey bun, right? But she going off in Rolling Hills in a sauna, in a spa, and all that every night, right? The only time she come to Smiley Coat is to drop some potato chips and honey buns off. And she might take a nap, and then she leave and go off to her never land, lady. That's how Democrats do, lady. They don't want them birds to leave the nest. They don't never want them to escape that reality. You know, so you playing with danger, playing with them, lady. You know? Democrats the type of people to tell you always gonna be sick. You always gonna be a diabetic. You always gonna have cancer. You're going to die with cancer. You're always going to be disabled. You're always going to have high blood pressure. Don't try to stop having high blood pressure because you're going to die with it. And we're going to be here to assist you and keep you on minimum pay and keep you on the minimum living standards until you die. That's how Democrats, ooh, and they'll pull up in a Maserati, ladies. They'll pull up on you in a Maserati and Smiley coat, babe. I'm trying to tell you. That's sad, but it's true, lady. And I hate the Republicans thought that it was just gonna come to them. Oh, and they put that boy from Atlanta. I don't know why Donald Trump put that man on the voter count, the voter fraud administration. I wish I could have sent him a letter and said, don't put that boy on that thing, because he's a thief. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have told him, but I just didn't. I just counted my blessings to let him know that I was good. I didn't have no problem with him. I wish I could have told them boys they put on that voter count fraud that half of them was crooks, ladies. To be honest with you, I know for sure that they didn't win. You know what I'm saying? I know they did. You know what I'm saying? But they made it seem like they did. You know what I'm saying? And nobody. One thing about Republicans ain't finna fight with you. They ain't finna sit up there and argue with you and say recount it or nothing like that. You know, just did you hear Greg Maddox? Like, what's his name? Maddox? No, his name was Joe. His name was Joe Maddox, Joseph Maddox, right? That man gave an excellent speech, ladies and gentlemen. You know, he didn't just sit up there and just take a beat down. He defended himself, and he said he couldn't believe, you know, this and that, and he told you why he couldn't believe that people didn't vote for him. You know what I'm saying? But he said he'd never gonna run for politics again. He said that was his only time that he was gonna do it. And he said he ain't gonna try to do it no more, because he said he got other things to do. He going back to his private law firm, and that's what he gonna do. So you could tell he was really like a guy that was trying to help the people and help the state. But he probably can see that people really don't want that kind of help. You know what I'm saying? Why would he sacrifice a lucrative salary to help people and take a pay cut? You know what I'm saying? That's probably what he thought about. You know what I'm saying? He's like, why am I sit up here and take a pay cut like this, you know, when I could be living the lavish life to try to help some people that really don't want no help, you know what I'm saying? And that does make sense, lady, you know. But I tell you, if you have somebody at the nursing home, I know a lot of people, they drop their folks off at the nursing home and they don't go back and see them. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, man, they got some people at the nursing home, they got a portal to the other side of the universe on their body, ladies. I'm trying to tell you. They got a gateway on their body from one planet from one galaxy to the other, because nobody took the time to roll them over in their bed. You know what I'm saying? Sad, but it's true, ladies. And you think the nurse is gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? If they get in there and call them folks a Negro one time, if they call them an N-I-G-G-A one time, them old folks from the old plantation, man, them Negro nurses ain't gonna never turn them around in that bed. Might not even bathe them no more later. And that's the sad thing about it. You have to go check on your folk, lady, because your next time checking on them, they might be to the point of no return. You know what I mean? Sad, but it's true. And you think people finna give you good food just because you at a place that say certified healthy meals? Nah. People treat you how they want to treat you, lady. You know what I mean? Just because you go to rallies and checkers, and because they are regulated by the state health department, does that mean they giving you healthy meals? No, it don't, lady. They giving you things based on how they feel about you, lady. It's sad, but it's true. It don't necessarily mean you did something to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way people are. It's sad, but it's true. People do things according to the way they feel, lady. You know. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I hate that you sent your child down there to Nasty Nasser, the doctor, and you know what he did to him. You know, your kids will never be the same again. You know, never be the same. Some of them could have been Olympic gold medalists. They could have been anything they wanted to be. They could have got a PhD. They probably could have been a Secretary of State. But no, you know what they're gonna be now? They're gonna be that guy or that gal that Dr. Nasser put his hands on, and they'll never be able to function. And guess what? The guy that they marry and the woman that they marry is always gonna have to remember that when they try to cuddle up with them. You know what? As soon as they try to cuddle up with that chick or that dude, the first thing they're gonna think about is Dr. Nasser got a piece of it first. You know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you it's a grim reality, it's very grim, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sad reality. You know what I mean? I like to encourage people, while you have time to spend time with your children, you know what I'm saying? You gotta try to never forget to try to teach them as much about life as you can. Sometimes you gotta take notes yourself as a parent. You don't never leave anything out. You gotta give them a real full education. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about when you talk about common sense and stuff, you have to keep educating your kids. You have to keep educating them and tell them as many different scenarios as you can. Because you always gonna forget something. But the more and more you try, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all that hell Roy Moore went through, ladies and gentlemen. And they finally approved the 10 Commandments, ladies and gentlemen. That man been going through hell for the last 30 years about them 10 Commandments. Think about all that hell he went through, ladies and gentlemen. And they finally passed a law to where they can use the 10 Commandments in them buildings. Ain't that sad, ladies and gentlemen? That he was punished for that, you know what I'm saying? Now it's legal. Now it ain't nothing wrong with it, ladies and gentlemen. And look how many times that man lost his salary trying to stand up for that, you know what I'm saying? For some type of principle, right? And then that abortion law too, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, ladies and gentlemen, but I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of people are glad that the state of Alabama does recognize a child, a fetus, an embryo. They do recognize it as a child, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just, you know, basic a non-living thing. I think at one time they actually considered if the child wasn't outside of the woman, that it wasn't anything, you know what I'm saying? And I think they just got that under some type of control. And I know, and I mean, I don't know how a woman feel that really have done that, or why they just that angry about it, like, you know? I don't really want to know, you know what I mean? You know, but I guess thank God that you know, now there's something to fight with, you know, instead of nothing. It's good to have something to fight with, like, you know, instead of nothing at all, you know what I mean? But now the other side have some ammo to fight with, you know what I mean? They get to say now, after these many years and these results of people not having that many abortions and having some type of protection, these are the results of it, you know what I mean? A narrow left, like, you know, I tell you. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you. Ooh, if you ever been incarcerated for nothing, you know, they always let the guys out that ain't gonna do nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know, they let them guys out that say that they believe in Jesus and they forgive whoever locked them up. You ever notice that? They put them on camera and everything. They don't never tell them they're gonna pay them or give them some type of pain and suffering. They don't never say that. They'll just say a man been locked up for 20-some years for something he didn't do. And they're like, well, how you gonna spend the rest of the few days you got left? You know what I'm saying? And man, you ought to see they really be wanting to cry, ladies. I'm trying to tell you. You can see them tears in their tear ducts, ladies, you know, that somebody took their freedom from them for nothing, ladies, you know. And then they finna let them out with no money, no way to survive, no education on modern living or nothing, ladies, you know, and just let them out and tell them, I guess their present is that they free to go. You know what I mean? That's some sad stuff, ladies, you know. Ooh, that's some sad stuff. And you better believe those type of people are the ones that do believe in God because they don't have no choice. They only redemption is that the Lord is gonna bless them, you know, somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of way He'll give them another chance to live, you know, on a different planet or a heaven or something. But I gotta tell you, that's some sad. Ooh, that's some sad stuff. To be accused of something you didn't do, to suffer for it, you suffering the maximum penalty for it, and then from one day for them to liberate you and say, okay, you're free to go. And then you got to sit up here and compete with people that had never been locked up before. You know what I mean? You got to compete with people that never been accused of something they didn't do. You know, they got all these things done in the company and stuff. It's sad, but it's true, ladies. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is tell you, you know, thank God there's somebody that made up that is something out there bigger. Thank God somebody made them fairy tales up so you could have some